Welcome to Crossbow Magazine. I'm your host, Todd Bromley. Today we're taking a look at the SYKD Hunt Endurance Broadhead. SYKD Hunt burst on the scene about a year ago when they introduced their XVC crossbow, along with their own arrows, their own broadheads, their own sling, the complete package. Their mission statement is to produce quality products at an affordable price, and so far everything we've tested has been right on par with that statement. The XVC is a great crossbow at under $500, so we're really looking forward to putting these broadheads to the test. The Endurance Broadhead is a 3-blade vented broadhead. It's 100 grain, it has a 1-inch cutting diameter, and a trocar tip on it. And we're going to shoot it out of the fastest crossbow that we have, and that's the 10.505. As these crossbow speeds keep increasing, we think it's in the best interest of our followers if we keep shooting everything out of these top speeds so we can have an apples to apples comparison. So we're going to take this outside. We're not going to tune these arrows or these broadheads. We're just going to screw them on. We'll start at 10, 20, 30, see how we go from there. And if they're grouping okay, we'll step it back and see how they fly at 100 yards. So let's put them to the test. Alright, so here we go. We're out on the range. Again, I've got the 10.505 shooting over 500 feet per second, and the SYKD Hunt Endurance Broadhead. I bumped it back a little bit. We're going to do 20, 30, and 40 because I know regardless of the range I'm going to have trouble getting these arrows out of the target because these bows are so fast. So we're going to start at 20 and we'll shoot 3 shots. And basically what we're looking for is to see how well the broadheads group. It doesn't matter if they have the same pinpoint accuracy as our field points, but we want them to be able to group so we can adjust the sights and then have a good center of impact and good grouping. So that's what we're looking for. If they fly the same as our field points, that's great, but it's not mandatory. So let's shoot 3 arrows at 20 yards and see how they group. All right, that's a 20 yards group. I'd say we're about 3 inches, and that's pretty outstanding. These first 2 are almost touching, they're about 1 inch, and this third one is a couple inches up and out of the circle, but about a 3-inch group at 20 yards. I'll take that with a fixed blade broadhead at over 500 feet per second. Now let's back up and see if it spreads out any. Alright, we're backing it up to 30 yards now. 3 shots. Still looking to see if we can hold that 3-inch group. All right, let me back this camera up a little. That's looking pretty good. We still got the 2 touching and the 1 flyer which is about an inch higher than the other two. I'm still holding a 3-inch group at 30 yards, and these two arrows are touching. So what this is telling me is this arrow, none of these arrows are tuned. We just took them out of the package, screwed the broadheads on them like a lot of guys do, and wanted to see where they were hitting. So there's no doubt in my mind, if we spine indexed these arrows and shot and tuned them, that we could get all of them to hold a 1-inch group like that, at least at 30 yards. That's where we're at now, and that's pretty good for a fixed blade broadhead that's retailing around $30 for a 3-pack, shooting over 500 feet per second. So let's back up to 40. I suspect we're going to see the same thing, two pretty close and one flyer. It may open up a little bit. Fixed blade broadheads typically do the further the distance. So let's back it up to 40 yards and try it one more time. Alright, there you go. Again, two touching. Cut the fletching on this one, they're so tight. Less than 1 inch, and again, one flyer. So we're about a 4-inch group now at 40 yards. And don't pay attention to the fletching color, because I'm shooting different arrows each time, because I have to take the broadheads off to get them out of the target. So again, we're right there at 40 yards. I know if we spine indexed these arrows or knock tuned them or did anything, I'm certain we could pull them all right down into this group, because I can't reiterate enough, we're just taking arrows out of the pack, screwing broadheads on them and throwing them down range at 40 yards at over 500 feet per second, and we're right there. So that's a pretty good test for a broadhead that retails at around $30. We're going to step back just for kicks and giggles to 100 yards, see if we can bust a balloon, and then we'll put the endurance broadhead to an endurance test. Alright, here we go. The ultimate accuracy test for any broadhead. 100-yard shot. It may be a little difficult today. Even a little more difficult because the balloon is moving. But I'll try to get squared up on it. SYKD Endurance Broadhead at 100 yards. How's that? $30 broadhead, retailed, fixed blade, 100 grain, 1-inch cut, pinpoint accuracy at 100 yards. Alright, now for our final test, the endurance test. Just like the distance test, we here at Crossbow Magazine don't advocate 100-yard shots at animals, but they do serve a testing purpose, just like the endurance test does. We're going to shoot a cement block right now, solid cement block at 20 yards with the SYKD Hunt Endurance Broadhead. And I really got skeptical if this broadhead will survive this test, because I test a lot of broadheads and there's not many that survive this test, but they're not designed to go through cement blocks, so it's kind of irrelevant in a way, but it does give you an idea of how they'll stand up when they hit something hard. So at 20 yards, let's see how it does. Well, there you go, folks. As I alluded to, the Endurance Broadhead did not survive the cement block test. I found two of the blades. I couldn't find the other one. And the trocar tip and the entire ferrule was pushed up into the shaft. You can see where it hit right here. But I've yet to find any broadhead that will withstand this test except the solid steel broadheads. So keep that in your information bank. The SYKD Endurance Broadhead flew real well. It grouped well, 20, 30, and 40. Pinpoint accuracy at 100. Just couldn't stand up to the cement block, but that's typical for most broadheads unless they're machined from a solid piece of steel. So that's our test. For more information, go to SYKDHunt.com. And if you'd like to see more reviews like this, subscribe to our channel and like the video.